Hey guys, we're back. This time we're going to be taking a look at Villainous, Perfectly Wretched. It's the third expansion for the Disney Villainous game. And this one contains Pete from the old Mickey Mouse cartoons. We have Cruella DeVille from 101 Dalmatians. And Mother Grothel from Tangled. And this can be played as a standalone game, as with the other ones, or as an expansion to add these new characters to your existing Villainous games. Anyway, we're going to get right in and take a look. So the first thing we have is a shrunk down version of the rulebook. It's the same one that came with the other character expansions. And they explain the layouts and the basic rules of how to play. They also, I'm not sure if this one does, yeah, they have the link on there too. A watch it played video, because it's much easier to learn games, I think anyway, from being instructed on it rather than reading a book, but that's just me. So right on top here we have this bag, and this contains the card for Rapunzel, which goes with Mother Grothel. We'll get to that. We've got these new cards here that show all the different actions. They've come with all of the characters. On the back they have the new villain objectives for the new villains that are included in this set. There's 3 of them, one for each player. And we have our 3 villain guides. And they're interesting this time around. Pete plays with these little hidden objectives, and there's 5 of them, I think, in total. You're only going to have 4 in play, and you have to accomplish these little goals, and there's one at each of your locations in order for him to win. It's kind of simulate the short film nature of the things he came from. Cruella DeVille obviously has to collect up Dalmatians, and there's little puppy tokens, and they go to various locations, and you have to capture them in order to achieve her objective. And finally there's Mother Grothel, who has to achieve 10 trust, and you get trust tokens by doing various things. I love these guides that show you step by step how to play each character. It's one of the cool aspects of the game, is that every character plays differently. Next thing we have here are our player boards. And there's Cruella DeVille. And she has the Radcliffe House, the Countryside, the Milk Farm, and Hell Hall as her locations. And Cruella's pawn is her fur jacket, half in white, half in black. If you got the limited edition Target exclusive version of this, the white side actually had Dalmatian spots in it. It's kind of Next we have Mother Grothel, and her locations are Rapunzel's Tower, the Snuggly Duckling, the Forest, and Corona. And for her we have this. I think it's supposed to look like a dress. A top maybe. I will actually admit I've never seen Rapunzel. And last we have Pete. And Pete has Frontier Town, the service station, the airport, and Podunk Landing. And his pawn's actually one of the few that actually looks like him. The only thing it's missing is his head in there. It's his hat and his body shape, but it still has the ears on here. It's kind of funny. Next we have our cards, and of course, as with all the sets, they're split up into 2. And the card art on the back is always nice. I just wish these were darker and easier to see, but you have a fate deck and a character deck for each one. And the artwork kind of pertains to their story. And then, get them all here. For Cruella's Fate deck, there's some interesting cards in here. It's been a long time since I've watched 101 Dalmatians. I will admit that. And then her actual character deck has her nice evil schemes. I like seeing what artwork they chose for the various cards. Then we have Mother Grothel's. That's the tower on there. Her fate deck is going to be all the heroes of the story. Again, I haven't actually seen... I know the story of Rapunzel, but I've never actually seen the Tangled movie. Someone will yell at me in the comments, I'm sure. But her different schemes to keep Rapunzel in the tower. I know she has a mechanic where that Rapunzel token is actually at the tower location and things keep moving it around and you have to keep moving it back. And that's where this token comes in. And it starts at one of the locations, I think the tower, and keeps moving around and you got to keep moving it back. And finally we have Pete. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of younger people who are interested in this game probably have no idea who Pete is. The old artwork of Donald Duck. Pete all beat up. Steamboat Willie, I think, was the episode that had Mickey in it. Goofy. And then for his deck, he's got a lot of weird cards from the various shorts. Bandits are pretty cool because you can collect them up and play a bunch together. There's lots of strange combos in this you need in order to achieve the various objectives that come up. The play a game one's one of them. Lots of bandits. There's Steamboat Willie. And then you have another bag here. Comes with a fate token for when you're playing with multiple players above a certain count, you use the fate token so you can't repeatedly attack the same person. Then we have a handful of the power tokens, same ones that are in the other expansions. I did notice that the ones from the expansion packs are actually slightly thinner than the ones in the base game. So I was making an insert and it actually stacks these up to keep them in better order. And I realized you could fit a lot more of them in there if you use these expansion ones that are thinner, but that's totally a personal preference thing. They function exactly the same. Then we have Cruella's puppy tokens here, and these are originally all going to start face down, so you don't know what they are. And different effects are going to allow you to reveal them, and when you do, they have a location that they go to and a points value. And then when you capture them, the goal is to get the points value up to 101. And these end up at different locations, like I said, and there's different card combos to capture them for Cruella. And then we have finally Pete's goal cards here, tokens. And I wish there were more of them. There's only 5. And there are 4 the sections on your map, so each section is going to get one of these. And then you have one that isn't in play, and it's going to get set aside. And then throughout the course of events, you can look at these at any time. And you know what they are. But your opponents do not. So you have Strike It Rich, start a turn with at least 3 items in this location. Spend at least 6 power in 1 turn while Pete's at this location. Gain 4 power from playing a game at this location. And start your turn with allies totaling 10 or more strength at this location. Start your turn with more allies than heroes at this location. So that would be all of them. I wish there were more of these so there'd be a little bit more variety. But I like that they can change up. But again, I just wish that there were maybe 10 and you're using 4 at a time, or even 8. That way you have a chance of getting all different ones. And then finally, you have the insert here, which is perfect if you only own this game or you're keeping your stuff separate. You have a spot for each of the tokens, all of the power tokens and all that stuff fit down in here, and a slot for each deck. The player boards fit across the top. Everything fits in there nicely, but obviously if you have more than just this box, it pays to combine everything into the original box. I have an insert for the original box here, if I can get it in here without messing everything up. That will store everything up to and including this expansion. You can see we got room in here for the tokens. There's 3 extra deck slots here for the extra decks. Even the tokens that are down there, the puppy tokens go here and Pete's go up there. So there's spots for those. And player room for the extra 3 boards up here. The downside is that there's a new expansion that's just coming out, so there's going to be 3 more decks, and this is no longer going to work, so I'm going to have to come up with something new. But for now, that'll work. And that's a quick look at everything that comes with Villainous, Perfectly Wretched. Overall, it's a nice expansion. I'm curious about Pete. I got to play him some more to see if I really like him, but he's definitely different, and I love the old classic cartoon, so I'm kind of biased on that. Cruella DeVille is definitely a must-have in these things. Her mechanics with the tokens are interesting and definitely a unique character, as well as being one of the more iconic Disney villains. I may be a little biased against Mother Gothel, but again, it's because I haven't watched Tangled, so I don't know a lot about the character, so I don't really have any feelings towards that one either way. But overall, I still think it's a nice pack of characters to add to your Villainous games. And more variety for them is always good. That's going to wrap it up for our look at Disney Villainous, Perfectly Wretched. Again, if you're a fan of Villainous, you will definitely want to add new characters to your game. If you're just getting in, this is an okay starting point. There's a couple interesting characters in here to play. And they do have some more complicated effects than some of the other villains out there, but that's one of the perks of the games. That's the cool thing about these little guides that help you out depending on which character you're playing. And I think they all complement the existing character selection pretty well. So overall, it's good as a standalone, and it's better as a expansion. That's going to wrap it up for our look at Disney Villainous Perfectly Wretched. Hope it helps you decide if it's something worth picking up. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.